Hello friends, welcome to MS Technologies. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to install PyCharm in Windows environment and how to create a first Django project. See, for that, first open google.com. Here, just type download PyCharm. Click on this link. Here you can see professional and community. So we have to go with this community. Click on download button. So now save where you want to save that PyCharm software. That you can give any drive where you want to save. Give that location. Click on save. It is downloading. .exe file is downloading. Here, once downloading completed, go to that location where we installed PyCharm. Go to that location. So here PyCharm got installed. So now double click on this. Click on next. See where we have that PyCharm, it is showing there. Click on next. Here 64-bit launcher and add. So here set the path, creates a .py, and you can select all it here and click on next button. Click on install. If you want to reboot immediately, click on reboot now. Otherwise, you can put this one. I want to manually reboot later. So now click on finish button. Installation successfully completed. Now go to desktop. See here, shortcut came like this. PyCharm Community Edition 2020 like this. So we got shortcut also. Click on this one. So you'll get like this. Do not import settings. Right here, if you don't want settings, just put this one. Do not import settings and click on OK. So you'll get like this. So now here, better to select this light. Better to select this light and next start using PyCharm. So here finally you'll get like this. Here now what I'm going to do. Now here if you click on this create new project, click on new project. Here you will get like this. Here we have to give the location name where we have to place all your project. Where we have to place the project, we have to give that the project name it here. Here I'm going to give project name is DJ projects. DJ projects. Now here, don't touch anything. Here it will create virtual environment automatically. Whenever we create the project, at that time automatically virtual environment also will get created in PyCharm ID. Automatically virtual environment also will get created. We no need to create the virtual environment explicitly. Now here, see here new environment using a virtual env. At here location it will take like this. Inside DJ projects virtual environment like with this name of virtual environment also will get create inside DJ projects location. Now here inherit global site packages make available to all projects. Not required to click on all this, just click on create. So here loading DJ projects project. Right. So here you will get some tips. Close these tips. So it is creating virtual environment. Still some process are running it here. See, here we can able to see this DJ projects. We created this folder, DJ projects folder we created. Now, if you expand this one, you can able to see virtual environment also inside this. Here we can able to see virtual environment also. Right. So now here terminal also is ready and terminal also automatically will get it here. Just expand this, open this terminal. See, here we no need to activate virtual environment. By default, it is activated like this. See, virtual environment. We are inside virtual environment only now. Automatically, it is activated, and we no need to activate explicitly this virtual environment at here. So now here, what we have to do? Just I'm going to create the project. I'm going to create first project in PyCharm IDE. If you want to create the project, which command line tool we have to use? Django hyphen admin command line tool we have to use. Here start project space project name we have to give. Here I am giving a hello world project. Hello world project I am giving like this. See here what we are getting. Django hyphen admin is not recognized as an internal or external command. Here what we get, we created a new virtual environment. Now we are inside that virtual environment. Now if you want to create any Django project, first we have to do the Django setup inside that virtual environment. Now inside this virtual environment, we don't have Django setup. First, we have to install Django inside this virtual environment. Then only you will get this Django-admin command line tool. First, what we have to do, we have to install Django inside this virtual environment. How to install Django? For that, here simple. Pip install Django. Here Django is installed successfully. So now again I'm going to try to create the project. Django admin start project name hello world project. Project got created. See here. So here we got Hello World project. Inside DJ projects, we created Hello World project also. Now, if you expand this one, what you will get here, you will get manage.py file along with that one more subfolder we are getting it here. The subfolder name also same as project name we are getting. Hello World project only. Now, if you expand this Hello World project subfolder, here you are getting different files init.py file, settings.py file, urls.py file, wsgi.py file. Here, what is the purpose of this init.py file? If uh, if you want to consider this folder, Hello World project folder as a package, compulsory it should contain a underscore init underscore dot py file. Nothing is there inside the init file. It is empty file. But if you want to consider Hello World project as a package, compulsory it should contain init file. Next, settings.py file. Inside this settings.py file, what we are doing, it required configurations. Required all configurations we have to do inside settings.py file only. And if you open this settings.py file, you can able to see all the configurations. Existing configurations you can able to see. Here, what configurations we have to do. Suppose if I create any application, first we have to add that application inside settings.py file. Then only Django should be aware on which application we are working. So where we have to add that application, here we have installed apps block is there. Installed apps block. Here we are getting some predefined, some here we are getting some inbuilt applications. Along with Django software, we are getting some inbuilt application. Those applications already configured inside installed apps. Along with all these applications, we have to configure our application also at the end. At the end, we have to configure whatever the application we created, that application also we have to add it here. So next, what we have to do? Suppose if you take any templates or any static files, all those things we have to configure it here. Where we have to configure templates. See here we have templates block is there. Inside DIRS, here we have to specify the templates path. Where all HTML files are available, that templates path we have to specify inside DIRS. Next, where we have to configure a static files. Here we don't have any specific block to specify the static file path. Here at the end, we have to take one path like static files underscore DIRS is equal to, like this we have to take, and here we have to specify the static files path. Static files means what? Right, CSS files, JavaScript files. If you have any images, that path we have to specify inside this block. Next, right, one more thing what we have to configure inside settings.py file, database. Right, Django is providing one inbuilt database, which is nothing but SQLite 3 database. If you want to work with that SQLite 3 database, we no need to do any configurations inside settings.py file. Along with that Django software, you will get this SQLite 3 setting also adherent. SQLite 3 configuration also you will get by default. If you want to change the database, here we have to change the database details. And suppose if you want to work with Oracle, here we have to provide the Oracle database information. If you want to work with MySQL, here we have to provide MySQL database information. If you want to work with any Sybase or any other databases, corresponding database related informations, we have to provide inside this block. Next, here along with this, we are getting some middlewares also. Here we are getting some middlewares. And for security purpose, Django is providing some middlewares also. So you can see the middlewares. So these are the middlewares and middlewares. For security purpose, Django is providing these middlewares. Entire security part will taken care by these middlewares only. Next one, right? If you want to do encryptions and password encryptions, right? We have to configure those encryption algorithms also inside settings.py file only. Right? Like this, all configurations we have to do inside settings.py file only. What configurations we have to do inside settings.py file? One application configuration we have to do, and templates configurations we have to do, and static files configuration and database configuration. All configurations we have to do inside settings.py file only. Next time, if you go for this urls.py file, what is the purpose of urls.py file? So here we are writing all business logic inside views.py file. How we are writing business logic inside views.py file, and we can write business logic in two ways, and either by using functional based reviews or by using class based reviews. We can write business logic inside views.py file. Suppose I'm taking functional based reviews. Assume I'm writing functional based reviews, and for each function corresponding URL pattern we have to configure inside urls.py file. Suppose inside views.py file, if I take 10 functions, for all 10 URL patterns, and for all view functions corresponding URL patterns whatever we have, all URL patterns we have to configure inside urls.py file. Suppose in views.py file I am writing 10 view functions. For each function, corresponding URL pattern whatever we have, that one we have to configure inside urls.py file. Next wsgi.py file. Actually, web server gateway interface. WSGI means web server gateway interface. Here we no need to think about that file. At the time of deploying the project in a live environment, at that time we have to use this wsga.py file. As of now, we don't need to think about this file. Right? These are the different files we are getting inside the folder, and inside Hello World project subfolder we are getting these are the files. One is init.py file, settings.py file, urls.py file, wsga.py file. Right? What init.py file represents? This it will represent this folder as a package. Next, settings.py file, and inside this we have to do required configurations. Inside urls.py file, and our view function related URL patterns we have to configure inside urls.py file. Next, wsga.py file, web server gateway interface. At the time of deploying the project in live environment, we have to use this wsga.py file. Right? These are the files we are getting. And next one, very important file, manage.py file. And we are getting outside of the folder. And manage.py file we are getting outside of the subfolder. What is the purpose of manage.py file? And if you want to do any activity, from now onwards, after creating the project, if you want to do any activity, compulsory this manage.py file is required. Suppose if you want to start the server without using manage.py file, we can't able to start the server. If you want to create the application, compulsory this manage.py file is required. Tomorrow, if you want to run migrations, compulsory this manage.py file is required. Right? If you want to do any activity from now onwards, compulsory this manage.py file is required. Manage.py file is very important file. All right. So now up to now what we did, just we installed PyCharm IDE, and automatically whenever we create project, automatically it will create a virtual environment also. Right. After that, inside that virtual environment, we installed Django, and we created Hello World project. Now what I am going to do, I am going to create application also. I'm going to create application. First, let see it. First here what I will do, I will start the server, and I will start the server at here. Py manage.py run server. Sorry, 1 minute. Py manage.py. Here we have to go to that location where we have manage.py file inside Hello World project, and Inside this project we have manage.py file. So first we have to go to this project location. How to go to that project location? Cd hello world project. Cd hello world. Cd hello world project. So now we move to that project location. Here we have to run the server. Py manage.py run server. Here I am not installing, I am not configuring any server also. Django itself provides one inbuilt server, and here Django is providing one inbuilt server also, which is nothing but Django server, which is nothing but Django server. Happily we can use that server at here. Where that server is running and where that Django server is running, right? The default port number of Django server is in this location and 8000. The default port number is 8000. In this location, server is Django server is running. Right? Default port number of Django server is 8000 and in this location, Django server is running. So now server started successfully. Now go to browser, open browser. Here, just type like HTTP 127.0.0.18000. Like this we have to give it. Click enter button. See here what we are getting. The install worked successfully. The install worked successfully. Congratulations. See here and Django is installed and everything is ready. Django 3.0 and right view release notes for Django 3.0. It is installed successfully. And now what I am going to do? Inside this I am going to create the application. And now I want to create the application inside this. And if you want to create the application, what we required and we required manage.py file and where we have that manage.py file and inside project and whenever we created a project at that time automatically you will get manage.py file also. Now by using that manage.py file we have to create the application. See how to create the application. See now already we are in that project location only. Here only we have to create the application only. How to create the application? Py manage.py start app application name you can give any name and here I am giving hello app and hello app is my application name and right here hello world project is my project name. Inside that I am creating hello app is the application. See application also got created. So now you can see inside the project and now you can see inside the project application also. See here we got hello app. Here we got hello app and we can see application also at here. Now if you expand this hello app folder, what we will get, we'll see and here first what we got? First we got one subfolder which is nothing but migrations folder. First one what we have? Migrations folder. Right. What is the purpose of this migrations folder and right now we don't need to think about that. Whenever if you want to suppose if you want to create any database tables at that time we have to run some commands and what commands we have to run? Make migrations commands we have to run and whenever you run migrations command, make migrations command, at that time one file will get create inside this migrations folder. Whenever you run make migrations command, at that time by using your model classes it will create one file inside this migrations folder. Right, if you want to create the tables inside database, at that time we have to run some commands, make migrations and migration command, make migrations and migrate command we have to run. right? Whenever you run that make migrations command, at that time, right, one new file will be generated inside this migrations folder. We no need to think about that as of now, right? So next, here one more init.py file is there, and init.py file is there, and so what is the purpose of init.py file? And already explained, right? If this hello app, if you want to consider this hello app folder as a package, if you want to consider hello app as a package, compulsory it should contain a underscore underscore init underscore underscore dot py file. If we want to consider hello app folder as a package, compulsory you should have, compulsory that folder should have a init.py file. Next, admin.py file. What is the purpose of admin.py file? And here I want to create some tables inside the database, and for that what we have to do, we have to write some model classes, and we have to write some model classes. And if you want to see the database models, if you want to see the database models inside admin interface, if you want to see the database models inside admin interface, we have to register those models with the admin interface. If you want to see the database models inside admin interface, first we have to register those models with the admin interface. That registration part we have to take inside this admin.py file. Inside admin.py file, what we have to do, right? If you want to see the database models inside admin interface, we have to register our models with the admin interface. That registration code, whatever we have, that part we have to write inside admin.py file. Next, apps. It contains our application configuration, and right, apps.py holds our application information. Which application we created, that application information is available inside this apps.py file. Next, models.py file. Right, when we will use this models.py file, and if you want to create any database tables, corresponding model classes we have to configure, we have to specify, right? We have to check, we have to declare inside this models.py file. If you want to create any database tables, corresponding model classes we have to declare inside this models.py file. Suppose if you want to create a student table, so inside this model class we have to take a class student. Inside that class, whatever the columns you want to get the tables, those columns we have to take as a fields inside that student class. Right, table name is the student. So inside models.py file, we have to create a student class. Column names, whatever you want inside a table, those column names we have to take as a fields inside the class. Inside the model class, we have to take those column names as a fields. Suppose the student number, student name, student address, student marks, all these things we have to take as a fields inside this model class. Right, whatever database tables you want to create, for all those tables corresponding model classes we have to define inside models.py file. Suppose you want to create a student table, teachers table, customer table, employee table, corresponding all model classes we have to define inside models.py file. Next, test.py file. If you want to test your functionality, right, whatever the functionality, whatever the business logic you wrote, if you want to test that functionality, right, we have to write some unit test cases kind of things. And PyTest, unit test cases we have to write. And those test cases we have to take inside this test.py file. Next, views.py file. And this is the very important file. And inside this views.py file only, we have to take all view functions. And inside view functions, what we have to write? Business logic we have to write. Right, our required business logic we have to write inside views.py file in the form of view functions. Our required business logic we have to take inside views.py file in the form of view functions. So these are the different files we will get inside application folder. Along with these files, if you want, you can create any number of extra files also. Here we have to create urls.py file and urls.py file. And whenever we are going to work with the REST API concepts, at that time that we have to take serializers.py file and mixins.py file. Like that, we can take n number of files inside this application folder. Here total how many things are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 files are there, and total 6 Python files and one migrations folder is there. In out of these 6 files, right, majority of time we have to spend time in views.py file, models.py file, and admin.py file, and views.py, models.py, admin.py file. Right here, what is the purpose of admin.py file? If you want to see the database models inside a admin interface, we have to register all our models with the admin interface. That registration code we have to write inside admin.py file. Inside models.py file, what we have to write? If you want to create any database tables, corresponding model classes we have to define inside models.py file. Suppose if you want to create employee table, corresponding employee class we have to define inside models.py file. Right, take the class name employee. Right, inside the table, whatever the columns you want to take, and I want to take employee number column, employee name column, employee salary column, employee address column. Take all those things as a fields inside this employee model class. Like that, we have to define each class inside models.py file. Inside views.py file, what we have to write? Right, based on our requirement, corresponding business logic, we have to write inside views.py file in the form of functions. We have to take in the form of functions everything. Right, these are the main important files we will get inside application folder. Right, if you open a project, if you open that project subfolder and hello world project, if you open hello world project subfolder, here we will get 4 important files. And one is settings.py, second one is urls.py, third one is wsj.py, next one is init.py, and init, settings, urls, wsj. What is the purpose of init? That if you want to consider that folder as a package, compulsory that folder should contain init.py. Next, settings.py, and your application configurations, everything we have to do inside settings.py. Next, urls.py, and here we have to specify we have to configure, right, your functions and view function corresponding URL patterns we have to configure inside urls.py. wsj, at the time of application deployment live environment, we have to use that wsj.py file. These are the files we will get right, whenever we created project and application. Clear up to here? So now what I am going to do? See, and here inside this, go to installed apps. Go to installed apps. Here I am going to add my application. Here I am going to add my application. My application name is Hello App. Hello App. Save this one. Now open this application folder. Click on views.py file. Here what I am going to do? Here I am going to take one view function. Just I want to display hello world message on the browser, and hello world message on the browser. For that, how to define view function? See here, I'm going to take, if you want to write any function, and compulsory it should be started with the def keyword. Def function name I'm taking hello underscore view, and hello underscore view I'm taking like this. Here we have to pass a request object colon, here return, right. So here you are getting request, and you are getting request means what we have to return, and response we have to return, and here I am taking request and execute some code and we have to return corresponding response, and so to return that response, here I am not using any HTMLs and templates, and so that's why I am going to return response in the form of HTTP response, and HTTP response I am providing, and inside this what I will take, inside this just I will take here I will take one h1 tag also, h1, here I will take like welcome to Python and Django classes. Welcome to Python and Django classes / h1 I am taking like this. Right here, HTTP response, we have to import this first. And how to import? Where you will get that? Here, see, from Django dot HTTP import HTTP response. Right, we imported that HTTP response also at here. So now that error gone. So next what we have to do here, I am going to create one urls.py file at application level. Here I am going to create one urls.py file at application level. Right click on application folder. Right click on application folder and go to new, click on file, and here we have to provide we have to create urls.py file. Like inside this urls.py file, what we have to do, and it open this project level urls.py file. Here already we have at a project level, already we have one urls.py file, and already we have one urls.py file at the project level, and just take this one, and just take this one. Here we have to import path, and from where path is available inside URLs, and inside URLs. So from Django.urls import path, and import path. Right. So now I don't want this admin, and admin is always located at project level urls.py file. Project level urls.py file, this admin is located at. So at application level urls.py file, that admin is not required. Admin is right. Admin is related to project, not related to application. Admin is the related to project, not related to application. That's why admin always we have to put at a project level only. So inside this URLs, what we have to take, and our application related URL patterns we have to configure inside this urls.py file. So our application related URL patterns means what we have, and if you go for this views.py file, here I am taking one view function, and corresponding URL pattern we have to configure inside this urls.py file. If you go for this views.py file, here we have right hello underscore view, one view function is there. Corresponding URL pattern we have to specify inside this urls.py file. Right. So how to specify this, we'll see. Here first I'm going to import our views also. From star import views, I am taking like this, and views I imported views also at here. Now here path I am taking right here, space and space empty. If you want, you can give any URL pattern, and but here empty URL pattern I am giving, and empty URL pattern I am giving, comma. Here what we have to take views dot, inside this views hello view function is there. This is what I want to take. This is what I want to take it here, and save this one, and so now what we have to do here at application level, we are taking one urls.py file, right? This urls.py file we have to include inside project level urls.py file. And here application level urls.py file, whatever we have, this urls.py file we have to include at project level. For that, what we have to do, and here after path just import one more thing, which is nothing but include. And now go to here just take a path. Here I'm taking one URL pattern hello like this, and hello I'm taking comma here include what we have to include, and that application related urls.py file we have to include inside project, and inside project urls.py file. And here what we have to take application name, and hello app dot urls. Inside this hello app application we have one urls.py file. So that urls.py file I am including inside this project urls.py file. That's it. Save this one, and save this one. See, and now how many files I used at here, and inside settings.py file just I added my application, and Next, inside views.py file, I defined one view function, and here I created one application level urls.py file to configure my application related URL patterns inside that. Next, here at project level urls.py file, we have to include that application related urls.py file. And here like this I included it. Now done, and our job is completed. So now next what we have to do, run the server. Here run the server once by manage.py run server. Server started. Django server always runs in which port? 8000 port, and default port for Django server is 8000. Now open browser. Here you will get like this. Inside main project, inside project level urls.py file, we have two URL patterns. One is admin, second one is hello. One is admin, second one is hello. Now here, if you give admin URL pattern like this, where you will go, and you will go to admin login page like this. You will get admin login page like this. But this is not our URL pattern. This is by default you are getting. By default you are getting along with Django application and Django project. Whenever we created project, automatically you will get this one. And but whatever we configured, and we configured a hello URL pattern. So here I am giving hello. And see, and what response we are getting? Welcome to Python and Django classes. Inside views.py file, same thing I took or not. Go to views.py file. Here what response I am returning? Return HTTP response. Welcome to Python and Django classes. Same thing we are getting it here. Same thing we are getting on the browser like this. Welcome to Python and Django classes. Like this, we can create the project, and we can create the application inside the project. We can create application inside the project like this. Clear up to here? If you guys like this video, please share, subscribe, and like it. Thank you.